Okay, so I work for BTCV as the Health Development Manager, and I'm going to talk a bit about our Green Gym programme, how we came up with it, and what's happened since then. Just wanted to introduce BTCV to those of you who might not be so familiar with us. We're a UK environmental volunteering charity, and we're actually celebrating our 50th anniversary this year. We involve around 125,000 volunteers every year in improving their environment. And it's interesting to be at a conference that's all about communication, because actually I think that's traditionally been one of our weaker areas. We're actually a very good kind of practical doing organisation. That's what we're really good at. Okay, so on to the Green Gym, just to give you an idea of what it's all about. It's basically where groups of volunteers undertake nature conservation, but the aim is very much around doing it to get fit and improve their health. And some of our participants are referred to us through different kinds of health services, such as GPs, but also a lot of people come because they just want to be there. And as I mentioned, we do these warm-up and cool-down exercises. Most Green Gym groups will meet at least once a week in their local neighbourhood, and they'll be involved in different kinds of activities to improve biodiversity or the great richness of life, as it was referred to earlier. But also some of them might be doing more kind of things around gardening and food growing as well, depending on where the groups are. And you might have anything between sort of 6 people out, or some of our groups that have been going for a while have up to kind of 30 people coming out every week. And they're led by trained leaders. Initially, a lot of our groups are established by our staff, but go on to be run by volunteers. Okay, so why Green Gym? Well, I think we had this idea of linking conservation to health for quite a while, but I think it really started taking shape around 1995. And it was really because some of my colleagues recognised that they were going out and doing conservation work, and they were feeling fitter and they were feeling healthier for it. So they were thinking, oh, well, how can we use this link more in the way that we engage with people? And it was very much kind of wanting to attract a new audience into conservation volunteering. And also at the time, it was quite soon after Local Agenda 21, which I'm sure most of you will be familiar with, but I often struggle to explain it. But there was an aspect to Agenda 21 which was to do with quality of life, as well as biodiversity. And so some of my colleagues were thinking, well, how can we more link into the quality of life side through conservation? So what we did next was we went out really to look for some partners who would work with us in the health sector. And we had quite a few lost leads, really. But after a while, what was then the Countryside Commission put us in touch with, clicking it and it's sometimes not coming up, put us together in touch with a GP called Dr. William Bird, who some of you may also know of. He's now the health advisor to Natural England, so he's really championed this whole area. But at the time, he was looking for new ways to get his patients fitter and healthier, because he knew that quite a lot of the illnesses like heart disease and stroke, etc., were linked to the fact that his patients weren't taking enough activity. And he started with health walks, but he came together with us to see conservation volunteering as the next option. So we piloted it at his health centre, which was in a place called Sonning Common near Reading, and that was where I started. I applied for and got that job. And I used to actually work in the GP surgery, which was quite interesting as a sort of environmentalist being in a GP surgery. And as I think quite often happens, the actual, we didn't have a name for this yet, but the name of the Green Gym was actually something which some of my colleagues and Dr. Bird came up with when they were in the pub one day talking about what to call this project. And I think a lot of the success of the Green Gym has really been down to the name, which has, I think, really captured people's imagination.